The courtroom sounded normal. At first, paper's name just another afternoon inside Judge Judy's courtroom, but the moment the tall business signer walked in, the energy changed. He wore a dart loudly against the floor like he wanted every person in the room to notice him. And honestly, he did. The man didn't look nervous. He looked like he wanted the entire courtroom was wasting his time. Judge Judy noticed it immediately. She slightly narrowed her eyes and watched him sit down without even acknowledging the woman sat beside him. That woman looked and folder against her chest, tired eyes, hands trembling slightly as she held a worn folder against her chest. All right, who's suing who here? The woman swallowed hard. My name is Elena, Your Honor. I worked for him for 6 years, Judge speaking nodded. He fired me after refusing to pay 3 months of wages. A quiet murmur moved through it, but the businessman laughed. Allies laughed, not nervous, slowly turned toward him. You think that's funny? The man smirked. No, Judge, just think this entire case is ridiculous. Everybody in the courtroom felt it. Judge Judy's expression changed instantly. That sharp stare people fear on television suddenly locked her. Langford. Well, Mr. Langford, Judge Judy said that coldly, you may own a company outside this courtroom, but in here leaned back confidently anyway. I built one of the biggest construction companies in this county. Half this town works for me. Judge Judy interrupted him immediately. And yet you're here arguing over harder than people expected. You don't understand. Looks surprised. Judge Judy raised one eyebrow. No, I understand how business works. Judge Judy raised. That's usually the problem. The audience reacted softly. Victor rolled his eyes and Judge Judy noticed that too. That's when something changed. Because until that moment, this looked like a simple wage dispute. But Judge Judy suddenly became interested to the sue him. Lieutenant hesitated, and that hesitation changed everything because her eyes started watering instantly. Not dramatic crying, the kind people try desperately. She whispered, the courtroom completely still. Victor looked away immediately and Judge. Every single person in that room felt the tension shift. This wasn't about money anymore. Something deeper knew it. What nobody realized yet was that Victor was about to lose something far more valuable than the lawsuit, his reputation. Judge Judy opened the file slowly. Mr. Langford, did you or did you not withhold this woman's salary? She abandoned her responsibilities during an important project. Elena shook her head immediately. That's not true. Victor leaned forward confidently. She constantly missed work. Judge Judy looked at Elena. Did you? Elena's voice proudly, like he was tired of hearing it, and that sound alone irritated the courtroom. Judge Judy noticed it too. You seem deeply inconvenienced by humanity today, sir. A few people laughed quietly. Victor forced a smile. I'm simply saying businesses can't always. It's without treatment, special rate, and quick pulled out papers. She signed an agreement that Victor entered. Perhaps Judge Judy then looked up. Did you? Judge Judy turned to Elena. Did Judge Judy look confused? Something wasn't sitting right. Then she noticed the signature date, and suddenly her face is March. Years. You claim signed this March 3rd. Yes, Judge Judy looked directly. 3rd. Where were you March 3rd? In the ICU with my silent. Victor Daz shifted it carefully now. Very carefully. Because now she wasn't looking at an arrogant businessman anymore. She was looking at someone who might have just lied directly in court. Judge Judy tapped the paper. Langford. Victor stayed quiet. They always forget details. Victor stayed quiet. Place her 2 counties away on the day this contract was supposedly signed. Victor could have signed early. Except your document says March 3rd. The audience reacted just slightly. Victor's confident. Everybody saw it. Judge Judy leaned forward. Did you create this after firing her? No. Then, explain why the ink date stamp doesn't match the paper date. Victor froze only for a second, but that second up. But Judge Judy saw. Once Judge Judy sees fear, Judge Judy over. Like she never expected anyone powerful to actually listen unfold. 6. Judge Judy turned back toward her. How long did you work for him? He used to trust me. That answer hit differently. Judge Judy noticed emotion behind it, not anger, disappointment, which is always heavier. Victor suddenly jumped in defensively. He's making this emotional. Judge Judy snapped back immediately. You made it emotional when you stopped paying a woman whose child was in surgery. But Judge Judy wasn't done, not even close, because she had started noticing something else, something Victor didn't realize he'd already about control, about ownership, about power, and people like that usually hide something ugly underneath. Judge Judy folded her hands. Langford, how many employees have quit your company this year? Victor blinked. What answered the question to do with this? Judge Judy looked toward the clerk. Actually, Judy looked toward the clerks. 23. Another silence, this one heavier than before, because now the courtroom wasn't just questioning his honesty, they were questioning his character. And Judge Judy was getting closer to the truth. Very close. Victor's confidence was disappearing now, not loudly, quickly leaking from a document Elena had late that morning. On its here-written document Elena had submitted late that morning. 1 sentence, instant pay her attentions. In 1 sentence, then looked up slowly. Mr. Langford, who was dangerous. Victor's eyes changed immediately. Tiny reaction, but my operations manager. Judge Judy nodded slowly. Former operations manager. Victor's jaw tightened. He resigned after accusing your company of payroll manipulation. Courtroom. Victor immediately panicked. That disgruntled idiot has been after me for months. Silence again. Judge Judy held up printed email. These messages claim you intentionally delayed an unpaid overtime. Victor shook his head aggressively. Those are fake. Judge Judy looked at Elena. Where did you get these? Then quietly answered. Entire emotional picture. Surgery. Judge Judy paused. It wasn't just about one woman after one my son suit. This was about a man who believed money made him untouchable. Victor ignored him completely. Instead, she stared at Ian. Why would he risk helping you? Elena finally broke emotionally because for the first time all day, someone genuinely asked. Tears rolled down her face. That line changed the entire courtroom atmosphere. Even the audience looked emotional now. Judge Judy sat quietly for a moment, thinking, watching Victor carefully. Did you threaten employees with termination if they complained about unpaid wages? Victor exploded. I built that company from nothing. Judy didn't flinch. That wasn't my question. Victor, how hard is running a business? People are lazy now. Everybody wants sympathy. Judge Judy's voice became ice cold. Victor realized too late that he had lost control emotionally, and Judge Judy saw all of it, the arrogance, the resentment, the superiority. But then something unexpected happened. In a worn folder she'd carried the entire hearing, and she pulled out a photograph folder. Judge Judy looked confused. What's that? Elena's voice trembled. It's from the company Christmas party 4 years ago. Dirk beside his young son, smiling around the child. Judge Judy looked up slowly, her family personally. Elena wiped tears from her face. You'd always take care of us when anything came. The courtroom became painfully quiet. Even Victor didn't look at us take care of him. Didn't just fail as an employer today. Victor stayed silent. You failed as a human being. Nobody moved. Victor Langford looked small. Judge Judy took a deep breath and organized the papers in front of her. Waited silent. Victor looked exhausted now, not angry anymore, exposed, and people could feel the difference. Judge Judy spoke carefully. Here's what I believe. And somewhere along the way, you started believing success removed accountability. Victor lowered his eyes. You withheld wages from employees who depended on them. She held up the falsified agreement. You submitted questionable documents to justify it. Then she turned them toward Elena. Elena quietly cried beside her table. Judge Judy's expression softened slightly, not weak. Human. You worked for this man 6 years. Elena nodded, whispered, because I trusted him. Judge Judy slowly leaned. That's the part people never understand. The courtroom stayed and never understand. Money disputes aren't always about money. She pointed toward about Victor. Sometime finally spoke again, but this time his voice sounded different, smaller. I never meant for it to go this far. Judge Judy looked, and Judge Judy delivered her ruling. I'm awarding Elena for financial hardship and court fees. The additional damages for financial eyes briefly closed his eyes briefly. But Judge Judy continued. Frankly, this part of this lesson. That line hit the courtroom hard. Because everyone understood. Wait, Judge Judy gathered the finals, then paused one always. Judge Judy gathered the final papers, then paused one last look. But they never forget how you treated people when you had power. Complete silence. Even the bailiff looked emotional. Elena covered her mouth, trying not to cry harder as the gavel hit. Victor didn't move immediately. For the first time all day, he looked around the courtroom not like a king. As Elena quietly walked out, holding the judgment papers against her chest, the entire room understood something that's deeper than the lawsuit itself. Real power isn't controlling people. Real power is how you treat people who can do nothing for you. And that was the lesson Victor Langford learned too late.